Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me Kagem. Today I wanted to do luxury trends for 2023, things that I think that we're going to see in the luxury shopping universe, as it were. So I really hope that you like this video. I'd love to know what trends you think are going to be happening in the luxury shopping world. Don't just keep it to luxury fashion. Tell me what you think is happening with a lot of luxury brands in general. So I have a few trends that I wanted to kind of chat to you guys about. And the first one is really interesting. So it's about the rise of TikTok as like the new platform of the day to consume luxury content and also to be influenced to purchase luxury brands. So I know you're like, okay, well, you're watching this video on my YouTube channel. Why would TikTok be like the new platform? I actually think that luxury YouTube and the luxury YouTube as a platform is actually kind of being taken over by TikTok, and I'm going to explain why. The past like 6 months, I've been kind of rebuilding my TikTok profile, and now I have more than 1,000 followers, which is great for me, considering that this isn't my job and I don't do this full time. So that's pretty good for me. And what I've realized is like, so many people are on TikTok doing Hermes unboxings, Chanel unboxings, Louis Vuitton unboxings, luxury hauls. All of the major like unboxings for all of the major houses are on TikTok as well. And honestly, the influencers who are getting the views are not like the influencers that you see on the YouTube platform. It's like new faces, different people who don't have YouTube pages either. They're like doing hauls, they're doing unboxings, they're doing all these types of things. I think that we're going to see a huge shift in 2023 from YouTube as like the preferred platform for watching luxury shopping videos and luxury videos to TikTok. And I think we're already seeing that shift. If you're part of luxury TikTok, you've probably already seen there are tons of views and hashtags for Big H, for Big C, for Louis Vuitton, for Gucci and Dior. So many people are posting unboxings and hauls and even just like think pieces about the brand under all of the hashtags for all of the major houses. So I really think we're going to see a huge shift from YouTube to TikTok. So where does that leave like the luxury YouTube world and the luxury YouTube universe? I still think YouTube is going to be relevant. I still think people are going to be watching YouTube videos. I was watching the analytics for some of my recent videos, and you guys are tuning in, particularly the Louis Vuitton price increase video. A lot of you watched that video, and there are like a bunch of new subscribers who came through that video, which is super exciting for me because I just love getting new subscribers. But I do think that we are going to see like a huge shift now towards TikTok. One of the biggest signs that the sort of new luxury TikTok era is actually quite challenging for a lot of people has been this really interesting decline of the Kardashians on the TikTok platform. So there are a lot of like TikTokers who literally have posted like really good TikTok videos about why the Kardashians are struggling on the platform, and they seem to be like really it's like Kylie Jenner's makeup brand that is struggling right now on TikTok, and also her TikTok. And don't get me wrong, she's still getting tons of likes and she's getting a lot of saves and favorites and stuff on the platform, but it's really obvious that it's not really her platform, that Instagram was her platform. So I've been watching a lot of these like marketing videos that have been kind of chatting about why are the Kardashians flopping on TikTok, and what does this mean for the future of their brands, right? I think Instagram is such an interesting platform because you can really present this very ultra luxury, hyper luxury image on Instagram through pictures. But now Instagram's algorithm has also changed towards Reels, and that's been very difficult, particularly in the luxury space. That's been really hard because I think with luxury, pictures tend to look more luxurious than a video or an Instagram reel, for example. And with the Kardashians, what they have been struggling with, and it's, again, if you follow them even just mildly, or you follow the sort of marketing discourse around them, it's really obvious that they can't really make TikTok work. They're trying to make it work, but it's just not that platform. TikTok isn't a platform where you can heavily edit yourself or be extremely curated. It's a little bit more free-flowing than say Instagram, or even compared to say YouTube or Facebook. YouTube, you can still do a lot of editing. You can do transitions. You can do tons of editing, particularly if you have a really good editor. Now, the sort of like topic of the Kardashians flopping during this TikTok era is really interesting for luxury, because I actually think that in the TikTok era, luxury brands are still like huge and they're still successful and they're always going to be successful. But I think actually luxury influencers, and hear me out, I actually think luxury influencers in the TikTok era now, it's harder to have like a bigger voice in the luxury like community, because TikTok has brought in so many new people. So the people who have had huge followings here on YouTube, sometimes it's really hard to go and translate that onto TikTok. So for example, one of the issues with TikTok, for example, is that TikTok's algorithm is geared towards the country that you live in. So like all of my content here, it doesn't matter if you're in Singapore, you're in Tanzania, you're in Nigeria, you're in Brazil. If you're searching for Big H or Big C or Big LV, Gucci, Dior, Balenciaga, you're going to find my videos, assuming that I have done really good SEO so that you can find my videos. TikTok is not like that. TikTok automatically serves your videos on this thing called the For You page to people who live in your country most of the time. So what that does is it makes you like a big deal. If you become huge on TikTok, for example, you become a big deal within your country. I think what's been happening with the Kardashians is that the way TikTok is serving their videos, they're just not resonating with the people that are on that platform. And I think it's the same thing that will probably happen for luxury YouTube as well. It's really hard to seamlessly go from luxury YouTube to luxury TikTok and for it to gel and make sense. Another thing about TikTok, which makes it really hard if you are used to the luxury YouTube scene, is the TikTok algorithm really needs you to post twice a day. Okay, 2 times a day. Really good TikTokers are posting 3 times a day. It's literally hard work for me to post 3 times a week, okay, let alone 3 times a day. So I think we're going to see huge changes as more and more people opt to go to TikTok first instead of coming to YouTube to look for unboxing videos, to look for haul videos, to look for information about what bag they should buy and things like that. The other day I was on TikTok, of course, just trying, again, learning more about the app, trying to grow my following on there. And with my TikTok page, it's a little bit different. If you follow me on there, I post more about me and Edwin going out, having drinks, going to nice restaurants, cruising around Dar. It's a little bit more real to like my lifestyle in that I show you just like how I'm living. But even with TikTok, something that I've noticed is that like people who are opting to just stay on the platform to get information about luxury instead of coming here. There are very few of you who have said that you have found me via TikTok. Some of you have found me on there, and then you come over to my luxury YouTube channel. But most people are not finding me. Most people are not finding me on there and then coming here. Most of you are finding me here and then following me over there. So I think as luxury as a universe migrates from YouTube to TikTok, we're going to see that impact in terms of the way it impacts brands and the way it impacts the people shopping at the brands as well. One of the biggest themes of the past 2 years has been how brands like Big C and Big H and Big LV have been increasing their prices a lot. Many people saying, hey, I'm done. You know, I've seen a bunch of videos from a bunch of luxury influencers on this platform talking about how they're done shopping, they're no longer buying luxury handbags, or they're going to be buying, you know, like more affordable handbags and all of this. It's funny because I feel like maybe 5 years ago that would have had a bigger impact than it does have today. There are just simply too many people who want to buy luxury across many different platforms. So if you have a big following and you tell your followers that you're no longer shopping, you're no longer like shopping luxury handbags or expensive handbags, and you want to shop from more affordable brands, you might have a little bit of an impact within your own following. But if you go on TikTok and you just spend even just the whole day there, search up Big C, search up Big H, search up Big LV, Dior, Balenciaga, Moschino's huge on TikTok. Versace is huge on TikTok. They're like brands which here, if you post about them, no one will watch the video. Like, I love Versace so much. I don't know why Versace doesn't click on this platform. But after I was learning about TikTok, I realized that the audience on TikTok skews much younger. So brands that do very well with like a younger client base, so like Gucci, Moschino, Versace, Off-White, those brands actually doing very well on TikTok, and they're finding a lot of followers, and they're finding people, like they're finding their tribe on there, versus here. So maybe a few years ago, you could have been like, hey, I'm done, shopping. I'm no longer going to be shopping for high-end bags. I'm no longer shopping at Louis Vuitton. I'm no longer shopping at, Chanel. It doesn't even really matter anymore, because I don't feel like the people on other platforms even care. And something I have noticed, particularly on a lot of TikTok unboxings, is these like TikTok unboxings from all of the major luxury houses, they do drive a lot of awareness, and they do make people want to go out and buy things a lot. I think maybe even more so than this platform, just because I think of like the what's it called, like the vertical format of the TikTok app. Everything is so quick and fast with a ton of music. You see someone unboxing something, and then that makes you want to go ahead and unbox it. Whereas on YouTube, it's like a longer format video. You see someone talking through their purchase, they're unboxing it, they're talking. Maybe you will be inspired to purchase it. But I feel like TikTok drives more of that kind of hype in a faster way. So the sort of influence that maybe a sort of big luxury influencer may have had on this platform, it's not as strong, in my opinion, as the people who are posting about luxury all of the time on the TikTok platform. I feel like they are driving much more hype for certain bags and certain products, or whatever luxury goods are out there. So a good example of this are the Versace Ivitas platforms, which are absolutely massive this year, and also I believe like towards the tail end of last year. Those were 100% driven by TikTok. There is no question about it. I've seen a few unboxings of them on YouTube, but it's not like luxury YouTubers really drove that trend, to be completely brutally honest. It was really luxury TikTokers who put those shoes on the map. Not even Instagram. They were doing well on Instagram, but it was really on TikTok. Like on TikTok, those shoes absolutely exploded. So much so that people even post the dupes of those shoes now. People do comparison videos on the TikTok platform showing like, hey guys, these are the Versace ones, and then these are the dupe ones. So I think that we are going to see a huge shift from YouTube to TikTok. I've already told you before how I see things. I don't see myself as a YouTuber. I don't see myself as an influencer. I see myself for what I am. I have a career, and I like posting about luxury products on social media, but I want to be wherever you guys are. If you guys are on TikTok, I'm there. If you're here on YouTube, I'm here. If you're on Instagram, I'm here. Wherever you are, I will find you. If you're on Facebook, I'll be there too, obviously, as you know, because I have a Facebook group. So that's one of the big trends I think we're going to see happening. Another thing that I think that we're going to see happening as well is I think we're going to see the growth of influencer privilege at all of the major luxury houses. I think we've seen this recently with Fendi, with Dior. Those are two brands that really work with influencers often. Chanel works with like massive influencers as well. There are many other brands like Dolce & Gabbana as well. They work with influencers. There are a lot of brands that work with influencers. I think we're going to see the growth of influencer marketing within the luxury space, but in a different way, and it's going to be through influencer privilege. Instead of just giving like an influencer with a huge following, like a handbag or an item from like the beauty, because what these brands tend to do is this. They tend to give influencers stuff from the beauty range. So Dior Beauty will give an influencer something from the beauty range, and Prada Beauty will do that as well. Hey, if they ever call me, I'm taking that package, okay? But that's what they tend to do. If they feel like your following isn't big enough to get something from the fashion range, so they tend to onboard influencers on the beauty section first. I think we're going to see the huge growth of influencer privilege even more in 2023. The best brand to really see this with is Big H. There's no question about it. Big H absolutely works with influencers. A lot of you, no disrespect, but a lot of you are so like, you're so like protective over Big H, and you make it seem like Big H is above there. She doesn't need influencers and their wigs, honey. She sure does, honey, because she puts her ponytail on as well in the center of her head, and she's happily gifting influencers beauty parcels and beauty packages and things like that. We all know that all influencers pay for their quota bags. We know that. But I do think that the influencer privilege will be even bigger in 2023 when it pertains to the quota bags. I think that is going to be something that we see more. Big H have their fashion show coming up very soon, spring summer 2023. That's going to be in Paris, literally any day now. And something which I think that I'm sure that they're going to do is they're going to have influencers there. They're probably going to, at the very least, maybe not gift a handbag, but offer a very like desirable bag, or maybe offer the ones which they are planning to make, because I feel like there was a time when the drag bag was like relaunched and it was on the catwalk. A lot of influencers were offered the opportunity to purchase that bag easily, because you all know that, you know, Big H doesn't gift leather goods to influencers. I think we're going to see a lot more of this influencer privilege moving forward. We've already seen a ton of it. Some of you keep telling me about one huge influencer who, oh my God, she gets 6 bags a year. If you know who the person is, don't name drop them, because I don't have any beef with them. I'm just talking about it in terms of just like a business. I like to look at things from a business point of view. And I always tell you guys, like, don't hate the player, you have to hate the game, you know? These people have it easier because they have huge platforms, and Big H knows, hey, if that person posts this quota bag, a lot of people are going to see it, and maybe someone who can't buy a quota bag today will come into the boutique and they'll buy nail varnish and they'll buy lip gloss, and maybe they'll buy, you know, a fashion bangle or something. All of that stuff kind of does add up in the end. So I think we're going to see a lot more influencer privilege at a lot of luxury brands. I think you're going to definitely see it more at Big C as well. We're going to see them kind of maybe working with influencers more for their campaigns. And by working, I don't mean the influencer's the face of Chanel. I mean like maybe something that's really coveted, magically an influencer will get it. They already do this, but I think we're going to see it more and more and more, because it really does work. If you think about it, all of the major brands like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Big H, Gucci, Dior, they literally are getting free advertising from influencers, bloggers, pages. You know, I talk about these houses all the time, you know, and I think that they have cottoned on that really does work for them and for their brand. And I think that they like it, and why wouldn't they? You're having people who are literally talking about your brand for free. You have other influencers who want to be connected to your brand, and they don't mind paying for the quota bags full price, and they don't expect it as a gift in terms of Big H, but they probably don't have to go 1-to-1 like you or I would have to, or to go 2-to-1. Now, we can talk about whether that's fair or not. I don't really mind that, because I just think that's business, honey. And that's just the way business works. I'm not really mad at brands doing whatever they think is right for their company or their business, but I do think that this trend is huge. Right now it's huge. I think it's going to be even worse next year. So if you're waiting for bags at Big H, you can't be mad if you see an influencer get it faster than you. They're getting it faster than you because they have a ton of people following them. It is that simple, okay? Something else which I think that we're going to see happen this year, again connected to luxury influencers, is I think we're going to see luxury influencers are going to become their own kind of mini brands. We're seeing this already with a lot of sponsorships. There's a ton of more like sponsorship brands like who are contacting luxury influencers and who want to work with them. I think we're going to see the luxury influencer is going to become a brand of its own, like a brand within a brand. So people who like love posting about Hermes and Chanel and Louis Vuitton, I think we're going to see them become their own little mini brands, if that makes sense. I think that's something which I think we're going to see more of. Another trend that I think is going to be huge in 2023 is I think we're going to see increased pre-spending at all of the brands that have some sort of game, and I think we've already like agreed that Chanel is kind of working on their own quota game. Louis Vuitton is working on a kind of game of its own in terms of canvas, and you have to make pre-orders, you have to move really quickly as well. I think we're going to see increased pre-spend as well, and naturally this will affect Big H the most. I think what Big H have realized is that people will literally, there's no limit to how much money people will spend in order to gain access to the three Holy Grail quota bags. I think we're going to see more pre-spend that's required. We've already seen it this year. Many of you have said, hey, you know, in this market you spend 2 to 1, some people are spending 3 to 1, some people have gone 5 to 1 in certain markets and still don't have a quota bag. If you think about it, it actually makes sense for brands like Big H to make their products as desirable as possible. I've been looking into watches a lot at the moment and luxury cars. That's really where my interest is right now, not so much luxury fashion right now. And I realized like how much I want to have something that's unique and exclusive, and I don't want everyone to have the same watch as me. So for example, most people within Cartier, for example, would go for, again, the Panther de Cartier, which I love, or the Tank, which I also love, but I don't want to be like everyone else. I've been looking at their high jewelry watches. They're so beautiful, they're so stunning. I think they're called the Panther jewelry watches. I've been looking at them as well because I know that less people would be purchasing them. I think we're going to see increased pre-spending at all of the major luxury houses in a bid to be even more exclusive than they currently are. I'd love to know what you guys think about that. Do you think that that's a good thing, wanting to be super exclusive, or do you think that is an elitist thing? I just want to kind of chat about that because I think it's really interesting. I don't have an issue with luxury being exclusive. I think that's the whole point of luxury. I actually think that we're in a bubble of affordable luxury brands. It's really, really interesting because there are a lot of affordable luxury brands out there. I think you all know which ones I'm kind of referring to, where they say luxury should be affordable. I actually don't think affordable luxury exists. I think it's just a very good, cynical marketing ploy to get people to spend even more money, because I don't really think luxury is truly affordable, in my opinion. I don't think that's actually the point of luxury. And let's just be clear, I love fast fashion, I love ASOS, I love Zara Honey, I love H&M. I have no issue with them, and I very much enjoy fast fashion companies. But I feel like we're kind of in this affordable luxury bubble. There's been a lot of talk over the past few years about inclusivity and diversity. People like to say these things, but no one really likes to talk about how they're going to make it happen. I think the fashion industry felt like they weren't being inclusive and they weren't being diverse. And one of the ways that I think that they're trying to do this is through being financially inclusive. So we see this with brands, particularly like Telfar. The price point of the handbags from that brand are not particularly expensive, and I do believe that brand itself is part of the sort of like affordable luxury category, which again I don't really think it exists. I think it's just very, very, very good marketing. But as with most things, there are consumers and customers for everything, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just think that I think we're kind of in this really interesting period where there's a lot of chatter about affordable luxury. I'm just curious, will the affordable luxury bubble ever burst, if that makes sense? And if it bursts, like, what will be the impact? Generally speaking, whenever there are economic headwinds on the way, it doesn't really affect the people who shop in the sort of ultra luxury, top tier segments of the luxury industry, because those people will continue to spend. So brands like Big H are not as vulnerable. So you have brands like Hermes and Chanel are not as vulnerable as, say, Louis Vuitton and Gucci. Louis Vuitton and Gucci are probably a little bit more vulnerable than Hermes and Chanel if there's a sort of like Oliver Twist, sort of recession that starts today. And a lot of you were fear-mongering in my comments and on my social media platforms, like, oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. There's gonna be a recession. What recession, boo-boo? Okay, because I've heard from a bunch of you who've been to Paris recently, and it's absolutely rammed. It sounds even more busy than when I was there, and it was completely busy, full of tourists when I was there in January. So I don't know about all of this recession talk. It's another trend that I think we're going to see happening. I think we're going to see the kind of like country clubification of these luxury brands. I think they're going to be even more exclusive than they've ever been. I think the VIP tiers are probably quite doable for a lot of people today, and I think that we're going to see changes in the VIP programs for all of the major brands, even Louis Vuitton, which I think Louis Vuitton's VIP tiers are not as high as, say, Big H's or Big C's VIP tiers, but I think we're going to see huge changes with that. And I think it's going to be even harder to be a VIP at all of the major luxury brands. We'll include Dior, we'll include Gucci, we'll include Balenciaga and Fendi and Versace. I think all of those houses will want people to spend more money, particularly on ready-to-wear. I think ready-to-wear is the real sign that you are loyal to the brand if you buy ready-to-wear and obviously fine jewelry as well. So these are my luxury trend like predictions for 2023. I would love to know what you think, but before I go, I have an announcement. I'm so excited to announce that I have launched my newsletter. Remember I told you guys I was working on a newsletter. It is ready. It's linked below. You can go sign up. It'll be coming out on the 17th and the 1st of the 17th, I beg your pardon, and the end of the month at any given time. So the 17th of the month, and then the 30th of the month if they're 30 days, and then the 31st of their month if they're 31 days. So let's say the 17th and the 31st of every month, okay? So it'll be coming out twice a month, and it's going to basically just be a little bit more immersive. I know many of you are very private. You maybe don't want to join my Facebook group because you are private, and maybe you follow me on Instagram, but you want to know more of what I think, because I don't post everything on Instagram. I see lots of really cool things that you guys can buy. I don't post everything. I post things which I'm just inspired to post on Instagram at that time. So this is going to be my Glamazon newsletter. It's going to be an ultra luxury Glamazon newsletter, but it's going to be luxury everything, not just luxury fashion. Honestly, at the moment, luxury fashion is not really that inspiring to me. Like, I'm not really inspired by handbags or by clothes right now. I'm really loving what I'm seeing in the watch world. I'm loving what I'm seeing in the car world, and I'm loving what I'm seeing in the hotel world. Like, I've been reading about new hotels. I think the Bulgari Hotel, there's like a new Bulgari Hotel that's opening. I was reading about that as well. That's kind of like where my interests are. So I'll be posting like places that you can go and buy things, like my recommendations, my like ultra luxe recommendations as well. So I would love to see you join the newsletter. Obviously it goes without saying your emails will be safe with me, but I think I should mention that anyway. And yeah, like I said, it'll be like shopping recommendations, but also it'll just be a little bit more immersive, and I'll share my thoughts about luxury shopping and luxury in general, in addition to recommending really cool things that you can go ahead and buy. I would love to see you guys in my email newsletter. It is linked below. If you're not part of the Facebook group, join it anyway. Like this video. Go follow me on Instagram. Go follow me on TikTok, for the love of God, okay? Because I spent ages explaining to you how TikTok is like the future of luxury. Go follow my TikTok now, okay? I have more followers than my husband on TikTok, so that's exciting, and he doesn't like when I keep mentioning that. So please go join the luxury email newsletter. It is linked below. I'd love to see you guys there. I'm also posting more on my blog. I know that there are different people who want to see different things from me. I'm the same. In fact, a few of you were telling me I should start my own podcast. I don't even watch other people's podcasts or listen to them, because you know now how people like upload podcasts onto YouTube. I don't even like, I was trying to think the other day when I was getting this feedback from you guys, like make a podcast. The only podcast I have ever listened to is like the most technical podcast in the world, and it was about like Google ads and Instagram ads, and whether you should spend your marketing budget on Instagram, obviously for my line of work, or whether you should spend, $20,000, running Google ads. Like, that's like boring stuff. Like, if you don't work in marketing, you don't work in e-commerce, you would not care about that podcast. That's the only one I've ever watched, and even then, I only watched/listened to it because there was like a transcript. So I found it and I was like listening to the podcast, but there was a transcript, because I don't know, I just don't have time to sit and listen to them. So I wouldn't be able to do a podcast because I don't use the medium itself. Does that make sense? I can do TikTok because I'm always on TikTok anyway, looking at other videos. I can do YouTube because I'm always on YouTube anyway. And I can do email newsletters because I read them anyway, and the same thing with the blog because I like reading content. I like having things just out in text form as well. I think I'm a text person. So when some of you guys were like, do a podcast, I was like, no, I don't even like them. I could never do one. So I think that you will like this because it'll be a very cool email newsletter, like I said, twice a month on the 17th and 31st or 30th of the month, depending whichever day comes first. I really hope that you guys will like it. I think you will. I'm super excited for it. So obviously it's like the end of the month now, but you will get the first newsletter will be on the 17th of October. And then obviously October has 31 days, so it'll be the 17th and 31st of October. So I'm super excited. I would love to see you guys there in my email newsletter. And yeah, it's not going to be too annoying because it's just twice a month, so hopefully you guys will like it. So yeah, there are lots of really cool fun things that are coming up for me with this channel. I'm always hustling. I'm always trying out new things. I'm a metrics person. I'm a results person, honey. I want to see results when I do things. That's the only way that I can justify my time for this channel because it's not my career. The only way is if I see results and if you guys support stuff. So if you support something, I do more of it. If you don't, then I stop doing it and I move on to something that you guys will like. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video.